Okay, good afternoon everybody and welcome to this bite-sized session on inclusive leadership. My name is Sharon.
My name is Jules.
And we have two of our lovely actors here today, Lotta and Paul. And we're going to help bring to life to you some of the issues that you experience as leaders in that role of trying to be inclusive of everyone that you deal with. So to start with, I want to give you a little bit of background. We've all heard these terms: equality, diversity, inclusion. Be interested to get an idea of what you think they mean. So what does the word equality mean to you as a leader, as a manager?
The word equal as well, that we are all equal, nobody is higher, nobody is lower, nobody, because of any of those particular strains, everybody is on exactly the same path as everybody else.
And we have the right to be treated fairly, to be treated as equal as individuals, regardless of any minority groups we may or may not fall into. And actually we all have so many differences. And if we were all the same, whether it was in a country or in an organisation, how boring is that? And that's where we come on to diversity. Because diversity basically means difference. And we have it whether we like it or not. An exercise that we do quite often in these sessions is we kind of get you to stand up. Okay, so I'd like you to, I'm going to call out various things, and if they apply to you, I'd like you to stand up. Okay, if they don't, I'd like you to sit back down again. Okay, so you have got a brother or sister. Okay, you have got brown eyes. Okay, and as we're doing this, have a look and see which other people, as we go around the room, have got similarities or differences to you. Okay, yeah, you've been to university or college. Okay. You've travelled to more than 3 foreign countries. Okay. You've lived abroad. Oh, yeah, all down. Okay. A couple of serious ones now. Do you maybe think that at some point in your life, whether at work or home, you ever feel like you've been excluded from a conversation or an activity? Ever at any point in your life? Okay? Okay, the last one, I really would like you to be completely honest here and recognise that we all make mistakes. Have you ever, intentionally or unintentionally, excluded someone else from a conversation or activity? Yeah? Okay. And take a seat.
That's quite hard, isn't it?
It is. And what you see is actually we've all got loads of similarities and loads of differences. So just a little bit of theory to sort of get us think into that. And inclusion is that idea of actually including people regardless of their similarities or their differences. We're all human beings. We all have something to input in a situation. So I'm going to hand you over now to Jules and to our lovely actors to bring to life a situation where maybe someone is not being included terribly well, and to see how that plays out.
So what we're going to see is a short, very short sketch, and I would like you as the audience to watch this with kind of 2 hats on really. First of all, just watch it as an audience member and enjoy the entertainment, but also thinking about what you're watching and how that relates to you and what you have experienced in your own life, be it at work or at home.
Lotta, how's the weekend? Is it coming?
Yeah, it's going really well. I've spoken to this company that supplies all these kind of things, yeah, and they've got lots of things we can do.
Great news though. I've just managed, we've booked Chris Akabusi to be the highlight speaker at the end
You're
of
kidding,
the
is
dinner.
that definite?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Well, in that case, half the things that they actually mentioned we can do, we don't want to do really, because we want to do something really active. If that's the case, we want to do something very active, sporty. Right, okay, so I think we should go for the family sports, and we can actually do, oh, you're going to love this, there's one, human table football. You're literally massive blow-up human table football.
Yes.
We're all touching spot, and we're all playing, and quad biking, yeah.
Flying the ointment time. What are we going to do about you-know-who?
Who?
Richard.
What about Richard?
Well, you know, he's got this ME thing.
Yeah, yuppie flu, yeah.
Well, anyway, the trouble is, I mean, how are we going to use him on the weekend?
Well, why would we use him? I'm sorry, but...
Well, we've got to tick the boxes.
But he's never here anyway. Well, if he is, he's... Well,
I know that. Look, we've got to look as if we're doing something.
oh, come on, this is not fair. This is a team-building event. We're sort of like the whole team, there's a load of us, and then one lame duck is going to dictate what we do.
Yeah, but can we not just think of one thing so that we can say, look, we did think about it. If there's any ramifications afterwards...
So you want to tame down what we do, so that Richard can possibly, if he deems to come in and he's feeling well enough from a little episode, he can then join in.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, can't we just see something that he could... Okay, you said, human football, tabletop football. Well, can we get him to be, linesman?
Yeah, he can referee on that, but I still don't see why his condition, as it's... I mean, come on, what do we know about it? Should dictate what we as a group are going to do.
It's not going to. I just want to have one little thing. I can tick the box. We've got something for him to do. So
fine. Okay, so we put Richard down as linesman and he can be photographer. There you go. Marvellous. But we are going to go for the full activity thing. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. I'm going to sort that out. Brilliant.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Sounds good. Great. See you later.
Ooh, that's some sharp intakes of breath there. So, I'm going to jot down a few of your thoughts on here. First of all, let's be positive. What was good about that? What went well?
The manager wanted to include Richard in some aspect, regardless of what Roger was saying.
Did he really want to include him?
He wanted to tick his box. He wanted to tick his box, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I did think that she was very enthusiastic about this team event, and that's really nice to see. Sometimes, as soon as the word team building comes up, there are groans, and it was great to see some enthusiasm about wanting this to be really great to include everybody. Well, okay, not include everybody, include most people, but I liked the enthusiasm that she had for the event.
Good. So we've got he wanted, which might be tick the box, but we are focusing on the positive now. So it would seem that he did want, for whatever reason, to include everyone. There was a lot of enthusiasm. Yes. Let's move on to the more negative things, which somehow I think you might have more to say. On the more negative side, what wasn't so good?
I think there were two comments before we even had the lame duck one, which was quite a shock. But even before that, the manager said, the fly in the ointment. He called him a fly in the ointment. That's horrible.
But also wouldn't say his name. Said, you know who. Wouldn't even say his name first.
Fly in the ointment, you know who, and then there was the lame duck.
And then lame duck.
She dehumanised it, basically.
All of this, dehumanising, yes, is that there? That's not great, is it? Dehumanising is not great.
And also the way they depicted Emily as yuppie flu.
Yuppie flu,
They minimised it, didn't they?
Minimised the penny,
yes.
so it's actually flu.
They're not trivialising everything, yuppie flu. Okay, now, in terms of yourselves and your own work, does any of this ring bells? Any of what you just saw? Anything there that you think, I maybe am not personally responsible for saying anything like that, but you might have witnessed it? I don't know.
Decisions and impressions of people are quite often made without any reference to the person themselves.
Okay, so assumptions and judgments.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Assumptions and judgments made.
About what they can and can't do, what they might want to do or not want to do,
I always find it quite interesting as well in organisations and some that I've been in, how quickly nicknames are made. Maybe the kind of, sort of the flying ointment might not be, sort of lame duck might not be a direct nickname, but it might be, everyone knows who you're talking about.
Or
Reference.
Or Daffy or something.
Or something like that, but it's amazing how often nicknames, they start so quickly and that's it, they take off like wildfire and suddenly this poor person has been branded.
Well, we are lucky enough now to be able to talk to the two people that were involved just then and find out exactly what was going on. Paul?
Well, illness is a very difficult thing. If someone had broken their leg in the team, you wouldn't necessarily have cancelled the weekend. No. And so it's very difficult to include Richard in everything. So it's incredibly difficult. But that's one of the pressures that I'm put under, is that I'm supposed to include him as if he were a full member of the team, which which he's not.
Well, he's not here all the time, so how can he be?
You know,
If he was here and he had heard your conversation, how do you think he would have felt?
Well, the conversation would have taken place if he... Well, he's not here, is he? So that's
No, I mean,
a random question.
I would never speak like this if he was here.
Now, I have a small surprise for you. We do have a mystery guest, and I wonder if you could tell us how you're feeling now that you've heard this conversation.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I feel a bit like I'm a sort of burden on the team, and you know, clearly they don't. You know, the bosses don't want me there. The people don't want me there. But you know, and I'm not a lame duck. I'm a human being. I mean, you know, I'm just trying to do my job and get on with my life. And before this ME, I was all right, you know, and everything was going fine. And then it's like, because I can't see what's wrong with me, they just take the piss all the time.
Are you surprised by the way that they spoke about you?
I thought they liked me.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. As you now know, Richard heard your conversation. Perhaps in a little while we can have that conversation again, and perhaps it will take on a different form.
I would like to apologise for Richard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said any of those things if I'd known you were here.
But would you have meant them? Would you have been thinking them?
I probably would have phrased things slightly differently. No.
Okay.
We're going to do something that you don't often get the chance to do in real life. I think you can see these two now thinking, I just so wish I could rewind and have that conversation again. And I think we've all had those occasions. But the magic of drama is that we can.
So what's going to happen is these guys are going to come back here and they're going to reenact the whole scene. Starting off probably very similarly to the way that they did before, but you are in control now. It's like you have a remote control and you can stop the action whenever you want and rewind it. And you can give them the direction. You can tell them how they should say things, what would be a better way to say things. If they say something and you say, like we had earlier on, I heard something earlier on. If you get that, oh God, I wish they hadn't said that, stop the action. They will freeze, tell them how you want to play it, and they will do exactly, you are in control, they will do exactly as we say. Do not be afraid to shout stop or time out or just wave or house or shout anything to stop the action. Don't be afraid. Because without you, nothing will change.
Lotta, how's the weekend event coming?
It's brilliant. I've spoken to this company. They've got loads of things we can do, so I'm really excited.
Just imagine who I've got as the after-dinner speaker.
What?
Chris Akabosian.
You're kidding? Is it confirmed?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, in that case, half the stuff on this list is going to come off because really we want to do something really active and like fill the day so that we're kind of all really high up and then go into the... Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So, right, I'll tell you what. We can do human table football. That's amazing. It's like this massive blow-up court and you're all like you know, just little table football players. It's just brilliant. And lots of running around and stuff.
Lotta, how about the flying the ointment?
Stop.
A
chorus. Okay, they have stopped. What?
Okay.
So
maybe instead of, because she's talking about, great, well, we'll scrap everything else I've thought about and we'll just go for the active stuff, maybe it's a little bit more diplomatic to maybe say, I wonder if that would include everybody, or everybody maybe be able to do that. You know, maybe we might have some people that might not be able to do that, so maybe we should keep in a few of those other things, maybe? Rather than pinpointing one particular person.
Right, okay, lots of active stuff. I mean, human table football is brilliant. You've got this massive court, you're all tied up, just like your little football players. This is brilliant. It's such good fun.
That is fantastic. The only thing I'm just wondering is if we can have something else that would involve everybody, you know? Make sure that everybody's included.
Well, why wouldn't everybody be included? I'm sorry, what am I missing here?
Well, you know who.
Oh.
There may be more than one person who might not be physical.
Yeah.
So I think if you can introduce Richard with other people who might have difficulties with this, and there must be varying abilities to play that type of activity which is particularly strenuous.
Yes, true.
Well, I mean, there's Richard to start with, but then there are also probably quite a few people who wouldn't be up for such a
There will be,
physical.
oh, come on, with all the enthusiasm, they'll be dragged along. We're not going to change from one lame duck.
I stopped on the dragged as well. If this is a team event, and if I was a team member, I don't think I'd want to be dragged. I'd want to feel that I was valued enough to be invited and accepted, rather than, oh, we'll drag them along even though we know that they're a lame duck. This is a really bad...
I tell you what, I know that not everybody's as fit and as young as I am, but I have to say that if we have enough enthusiasm, and if we say that everybody can do as much as they want to do when they're in the field, or maybe we could do something else apart from mutant tail football, but I still think that to not do these kind of active things just because of one lame duck, and it's just not.
She doesn't listen, does she?
She likes that too.
Yes. Who's going to comment on that? Because there was a general.
It's the lame duck. You don't refer.
But it's just a
Yeah, but it's
Figure of
offensive.
speech.
But it is offensive.
Right, I still don't see why, because of one person who maybe couldn't do so much, we can't have a really active programme.
No reason whatsoever.
Okay.
But as long as we include everybody.
Okay, so how about thinking about, we've talked about thinking about what Richard might want. So we won't necessarily have to play it out now, but how about Richard and the team? Has anyone thought to ask the team generally? So
I tell you
both
what,
Richard and
why
Richard.
don't I have a little ask around to see what everyone wants to do, or maybe what they're capable of, because as far as we know, we don't actually know how everybody's feeling, or whether anybody's got any injuries or anything that we don't know about.
Absolutely.
So why don't I find out first what everybody's capable of doing and what they would like to do, and feel comfortable doing, and then I take them on the list.
And you've got such great enthusiasm.
I know.
But maybe somebody be dragged along because of that enthusiasm. So maybe I ought to do it, so I can approach them neutrally. So they
Yeah, but
won't-
you're the big boss, so if you say, they'll probably say they have to tick the box.
It is, so maybe you could get one of the team.
Let's ask Richard to go
Just
around next time he's
tip
in.
of my tongue.
Next time Richard is in, we'll ask him to go around. How's that? And then he's fully included, because then he has decided what the best thing to do is for us as a team.
Now that would be perfect.
Sheer brilliance.
Excellent. Well done, Now, we don't, when we learn things, we don't go from zero to hero overnight, as we can tell. And I think there's still a fair degree of room for improvement. But actually, that is natural for us as human beings. We don't suddenly, I've been on a 10-minute training course and I know everything. We'll pick up some things, but it's only when we go back that we realise what are some of those things that work well and some of those things that don't work well. The big thing, I think, hopefully from today that we can take is it's about that self-awareness. So I think we've said, it's okay, we all have some of these stereotypes. We all have occasions when maybe we forget and we don't include someone as much as we could or should, where we don't think about where they're coming from because we don't know. But if we start to realise when we do it, and we take action to put it right, then we're learning as people, we're learning as leaders, and the more that you learn and include people, the more that's going to create the atmosphere of other people being included and appreciated within your organisation. So we will have some follow-up activities for you to help you think about how you embed that back in the workplace. But hopefully we've given you some food for thought today, some ideas to take away, and get you to have a bit of a review session and think about how that moves forward. But for now, I'd like to thank very much to Lotte and to Paul for bringing their characters to life so well, for poor old Richard for being the butt of various jokes, but for actually kind of sitting through that and hopefully taking control in the end, and to Jill to help him facilitate. So thank you very much and see you again soon. Bye-bye.